Good morning, Barbie. Welcome back, everyone.
We're back in the garden. Thanks for joining. I'm Barbie Burr.
And I'm Brooke Johnson.
And we're Marion Veg. We are demonstrating how to grow vegetables with minimal work and minimal water. And we're out here today is April 22nd.
It's April 22nd.
Which is...
It's actually Earth Day, so happy Earth Day.
Happy Earth Day. This will be delayed a week, so
yes.
You will have celebrated last week. We're celebrating today. And so what's our plan today?
Our plan today is we're going to make some more of those little paper pots that you saw us make on one of the other episodes, and then we're going to maybe plant some of the squashes in them, which will be a fun experiment. We found some extra seeds we had left over from last year, so we're going to try to see if we can get them to grow by putting the little paper pots in the ground and then cutting the bottoms off of some plastic jugs and putting those on top like a little greenhouse. So.
Yeah, and that's a slightly different mini greenhouse.
Yeah.
The jugs out there right now are doing pretty well. The mini greenhouses we did look like they don't have enough water around the edges.
Yeah, and the salad containers. So.
Yeah, so maybe we could have done a better job poking holes, or maybe we'll just top them with
the plastic water jugs, and they seem to be a little more successful, so yeah, we'll see what they do. And we're also going to take a peek at some of the stuff we already did plant in the last episodes.
Oh yeah, and as Brooke said, we're using old seeds.
Yeah.
And it's a bit of an experiment because everybody who gardens has old seeds, so we want to see how well
we have other squash seeds that we will plant maybe next week, and we might direct sow some into the ground when it gets a little warmer. But these are going to be our little test experiment.
We like experiments. And beside that, we're going to take a look at our water system. The greenhouse is collecting water on both sides. We have 2 rain barrels, and we've got some hoses, and we're going to see if we can't bring that rainwater into the greenhouse.
Yes, we've been getting a good amount of rain, so
yeah. Now when we don't need it.
Yeah, right. In the middle of summer, we won't have it.
Right. All right, and first we're going to start by inspecting, see what we got out there.
Yeah, I think we can take a look around.
All right.
All right. Let's get to it.
Thanks. Well, the first thing I think we have to notice is the violas. As you can see, Brooke planted 4 over there. I planted 4 over there. Whatever Brooke plants always does very, very well. And this is no exception to that general rule. Mine will do eventually. They'll be fine. The season will go on. They'll catch up a little bit. But there is no accounting for Brooke's magic touch. So beside that, Brooke, what do we have to look at?
We're going to check out what we have inside some of these plastic jugs, which were mostly the edible flower plants. Well, if I take a look in the calendula, I do see a couple of seeds poking through. Ooh. That's exciting. Oh, and look, the cornflower in the jugs is up. Oh yeah, there's a lot of that.
Oh wow, that's a lot. A lot of greenery.
More calendula. This is up. Wow, so successful so far.
Anything on the borage?
Yes. Look at that. They're happy. In the viola, I don't see much going on in the violas. They might take a little while.
They might, and this is very early season. This is April 22nd, and we really wouldn't break these out until the end of May.
Look at all the stuff we transplanted is really happy.
So we did a few things when the viewers weren't watching. One is, at the end of last year, I took some old rotten onions on my kitchen sink and I planted them in the ground. And this year they started to come up. And what they're going to do is they're going to shoot up a stem with a nice big seed head. And it's going to give us seeds for onion if we want to try and start. Yeah. But it's also just going to be pretty. And it's also going to be discouraging pests, because pests can't stand onions. Yeah. So maybe it'll help protect the Brussels and the broccoli and the beets.
And the little tiny brassicas we did plant, the cabbage looks happy, everything looks happy. This one looks like it's even trying to start its next set of leaves, first little set of leaves.
I think they're bigger than they were yesterday.
Yeah, they're definitely bigger.
Wow.
So that's promising.
We're doing all right. Well, it rained this morning, and I think that helped.
Oh yeah, and the soil should be nice and moist because of the rain.
This is not bad.
Yeah, look underneath. It's not dry, so.
Oh yeah.
That's good.
So everything that we moved around last week looks good. The
Hyssop.
hyssop is booming. The
Got
chives
bigger.
are thriving. The oregano is working. We've got tons of little baby poppies.
That's so exciting.
So exciting. We've taken the cover off the rhubarb because we do want to let it get some
Photosynthesize,
sun
yeah.
and redden up. Right now it's very tender and tasty, but we want the plant to develop, so we gave it some sunshine.
Yeah.
And what do we got?
And these, oh, looks like the carrots are finally doing something.
Woohoo!
All these, they kind of almost look like grass, but they're not. They're carrots.
There are millions of them.
And there's a whole bunch of those, so.
And we're gonna just let them grow, huh?
Yeah, that's very exciting.
We've got plenty of Swiss chard coming in.
Yep.
Wow.
Oh yeah, plenty of that.
Lots of kale.
That's the colorful one.
And
Kale.
did you say carrot? Yeah, carrots
Yeah,
are right
look
here.
at all these carrots, and
Wow.
are these coming up too?
Look at all these carrots.
Oh.
The carrots come right up through the straw.
So exciting.
They don't mind.
And these string lines are really helping us kind of keep track exactly where they were, so we can tell if it was the seeds or some intruder.
That is nice. Yeah, and they just don't mind the straw. Carrots and carrots.
And our radishes are on the end, and they're greening up nicely, getting bigger.
they are.
So
They're gonna have to be thinned.
good. Yep.
And you've got collard, cabbage, and beet you did last.
Oh yeah,
week.
and those I planted under the bag, so we actually might want to check those.
You want to check those?
Yeah.
Well, I'm gonna let you do that.
Okay.
So most people are going to start gardening at the end of May when there's no more chance of frost, and they're going to put the seeds out, but they're not going to be able to have enough moisture in the ground, so they're going to have to water. And because the land is open, they're going to have to weed. We're trying to avoid that because I don't want to water and I hate weeding. So we're trying different ways to get the crops growing now while the soil's plenty moist enough. And what we did here is we put in the seeds. We're going to see if they germinate under the paper bags. Brooke, what do you think?
I don't know.
And it might be too early. It might be working, but there's
Yep.
nothing. Or we might see something.
All right. Just gonna take this, peel this up. Oh yeah, they're starting.
What's starting?
Teeny tiny. The Chinese cabbage has started.
I
So
really want the Chinese cabbage to grow.
these
That's
little
exciting.
tiny ones. So I am going to take the bags off. I think we should take the bags
That's
off.
fine.
Even though the other two rows haven't done
That's
much.
completely fine.
But we want these to get the light.
Yeah. But we're not going to leave that soil open
No.
because we know now that they're up, they're going to continue to fight their way out.
Yep. And, then-
So we're going to come back in there.
and we'll just sprinkle very lightly some straw back over these
Right.
to protect them.
And they're not going to have any trouble with that. They're going to shoot right through.
they'll like that. So we'll do that.
And if this succeeds, and it has in the past, you never know, every garden has some failure and some success that surprises everybody.
And every year can be different. Sometimes things that do really well one year don't do as good the next year, and something else will take off.
Yeah.
So.
But what we're avoiding here is the weeding and the watering,
Yes.
because that's what we don't want to do. So just to do a little comparison, we're right at the beginning of the season. This is a garden that was used last year, and that's next door a garden that has been refreshed. So why do you refresh the garden? Well, here if you look at this garden in here, underneath this straw is simply beautiful. I mean, look at that.
Look at that.
That is beautiful soil to plant in, and it's moist, but it's not too wet. It is ready to plant, which is wonderful. But it has the occasional weed, like this. Now, this weed just comes right out without any trouble. Here's another one, a little weed, comes right out. It's not a lot of work.
Yeah, so the straw's really done its job.
The straw's really done its job, but you've got a couple of weeds, and if you don't take them out now, then they'll grow too big and ruin the bed. So you've got to get them. And also, the straw is now, see how it's dirty? It's not as clean as that because it's doing its job. It's rotting.
It's decomposing and
Decomposing.
it's actually turning into dirt. So now it's actually a place where weeds like to come and grow. So we want to kind of take the old straw off, maybe add some nice new compost, and then put nice new straw on top of it to refresh it.
So very similar, but very different. It doesn't take a lot of work to refresh the bed, but once you've done it, it takes you through the whole year.
It's worth it.
Oh yeah. Well, we're in the greenhouse, and the first thing I'm going to do is take off my coat because it's warm in here.
Sure is.
And it's a little bit of a mystery exactly why it's so warm, but we think it's the decomposition of the wood chips. But we're getting a lot of confidence that we do not have to worry about a freeze anymore.
Yeah.
We do have to worry about too much heat. So we've just ordered automatic openers for the 4 skylights. And we hope after that, we're going to be able to have some plants in here. Maybe the melons?
Yeah, I think next week we'll probably start some melons in here and maybe some tomatoes and peppers.
That'd be
possibly.
so cool.
Yeah.
And we'll have confidence in the greenhouse. It'll get hot, but it shouldn't get
Warm enough for them to start germination and grow, and then eventually it'll be May and it'll be time to put them in the regular garden.
Yeah. So for today we're working on squashes, and the first thing I'm doing is I'm gonna open up one of these jugs, and we're gonna do it a little bit differently. Today we're gonna take a very sharp knife, go all the way around the jug, and cut it just like this. And I already labeled it. And after we get the plants in the ground, it's gonna dome over the new seeds.
Yep, we're gonna take some of these paper pots like we made before. We're gonna bury these directly in the ground and then put the jug over them this time. And like we said in the beginning, we decided to do this because we had some leftover seeds from last year. So this will be a little bit of an experiment with the squashes. We will do a summer squash and a few winter squashes.
All right.
Do you want me to go ahead and
go ahead.
start?
Doing. Oh, and I've got to get my labels ready.
Yes. First, we'll do the patty pan summer squash. This one's called lemon. All right. Those are what those seeds look like.
They're big seeds
Yeah,
for
they're
those little
pretty-
containers.
Pretty big. So what I'm going to do first is I will poke a little hole just with the top of my finger in there. And then what are you thinking? Do you think we should put 2 seeds in each?
2 seeds, and we'll save the rest because we're going to direct start these.
Yep.
These we ought to be able to direct start.
Yeah.
And we'll try it, but we're going to compare and see if we can get them going.
Yeah, we're going to see if these will start earlier than the ones that we do decide to direct. So
And remember, by starting early, the plant can get established while the soil is still wet in the spring, develop a great root system, and survive without a lot of water.
yeah, the plant becomes a little bit stronger if it has a good head start outside in the temperatures, so it can adjust as it grows. All right, we had just the perfect amount.
Ah, good job.
I'll just throw those guys in. All right. And I kind of just put the squash seeds in sideways, and that way they have a better chance of releasing out of the shell and actually poking through the surface of the soil.
Some people soak their seeds overnight. Should we be doing that?
You can with some of them. Some of the ones that have a really hard shell, you could even, nick them and soak them.
Oh, yeah.
But these should be fine because they're going to stay plenty moist.
Okay.
And then I just kind of make sure they're covered.
Okay. And what kind were those?
These were the patty pans.
Okay, so you've got that.
So we
in
have
there.
this label, yep. Now we will do the delicata, which is a popular one. Everybody seems to like that. Let's see how many we have in here. Oh, these ones are a little bit smaller. They're cute. We'll do the same thing. We'll poke holes. Not too deep, but enough to cover the seed. A couple of seeds in each one. Alright, and I'm just going to cover those up. Alright, next we'll do the pie pumpkin, which is a cute little pumpkin. Good for pies. These ones. These are a little bit bigger. Look like regular pumpkin seeds. And same thing, two in each hole. Oh, these are huge. This is the buttercup winter squash. Look how big those seeds are. Wow.
Oh, that's interesting. Because it's not a particularly big squash.
No, they're much bigger than I thought they were.
Interesting.
I think I'm still going to put 2.
Okay.
Because they're old seeds.
Okay.
Give them a better chance.
Yeah, and since they're, let me just look at that.
How many days they are.
Yeah, this is, the germination test was in 1023. It's only 25. You know, they should be fine.
Should be right. I need a couple more.
Take them. So where Brooke is about to plant is a little garden ornament. That's something that my kids made, one of my children made in school in about 6th grade, and it's a likeness of my dad. And my dad was the gardener I really followed and loved. His advice was, if you don't plant it, it can't grow.
Exact. Good advice.
So, I love that. All right, you go, Brooke.
I'm going to go ahead and take this straw off of the section we're going to put the paper pots in. Okay. We didn't plant anything here yet, and then hopefully they'll get big, and when we can transplant them, we can get them to maybe grow up the cattle panel if they're the vining kind.
That'd be pretty cool. Yeah. Here, and I'll move this for now, but we'll put it back later.
We'll put him back.
Big earthworm, do you see it?
Yeah, look at that. Oh, another one. I've seen a lot of worms.
They're so happy here. You see the earthworms, and it's such a great sign.
There is a lot of them. All right, same thing right here. We'll just dig a little hole, bury them up to the surface. These are the pie pumpkins.
Oh man, that would be so cool if they took to that location.
Yeah. And even if they don't germinate and sprout right away, they might just wait till it's a little warmer and come right up when they're supposed to.
Yeah. And if they don't, we can just get other seeds and put those in there.
If they don't, we did buy other new ones that will direct sow anyway in May when it is warm out and it is the right time to plant the squashes. Same thing, we'll just bury these. We'll tuck them in. We don't want to bury them completely, we just want to tuck them in. And I think the jug fits over that one. Perfect. Make sure there's no air in between, that they're flat. Okay. And we'll just make sure the cap's off.
Oh yeah, I'll take the cap.
And that just slides right in like that.
Did it work?
Yeah, that one worked better than the first one. So
fabulous. All right, well, you've got your straw.
Yep, I'll put the straw back around it, tuck it in.
I love it.
Perfect. Alrighty, that'll be good for those.
Can you put my dad's picture back?
Absolutely. Here we go.
My main gardener.
Right
Thank you.
there.
All right, and then I've got you the.
That'll give us room for 2 more.
Now I think Patty Pan is not a climber, although maybe I've seen. Have you seen how you make zucchini?
Yeah.
Grow.
You can make them go straight up if you train them.
Well, we'd have the trellis, so maybe we could try training them.
We'll see.
When you find a way to grow up instead of at ground level, a lot of good things happen. The bugs can't reach the plants, so you'll get much fewer bug invasions. The fruit, the vegetables stay clean and dry and open to the sunlight, so they develop very well. Am I hitting the main point?
Yeah, definitely. Yep.
I guess that's really it. Away from the dirt and away from the bugs.
Yep, a big thing is we talk about the pests is the squash vine borers, and they always bore little holes, and that's what can really kill your plant. So by growing them up, they can't really hide under there and do what they want to do.
Exactly. Do you need me to hold this out? You got it.
I think you're good on this one, but
oh, nice.
I should probably sprinkle a little water. I didn't do that in the other
Let
ones.
me get that for you.
Yeah.
That was nice. It was as good as it was.
I'll just give them a little drink. There we go. Just like that.
And what these covers do is they will protect against frost, although we're hoping we're beyond frost. And they protect against big rain, or if it gets very, very dry on a hot day, the contents of the jug will stay moist. Nice work, that's just perfect.
Perfect.
And so it protects against extreme conditions and birds. You know, if a bird is flying around looking for some tasty little piece of something, it can't get into the jug.
Yeah, and birds tend to go after the squash seeds because they're bigger and they can see them better.
Yeah.
But these protect them and keep them in their own little environment, and also keep the seed from washing away, like Barbie said, in the big rainstorms.
Yeah. And once they sprout, once they germinate, then we can remove the tops as long as we don't think it's going to frost again.
Yep.
And add some straw, and then they should be good on their own until they get big enough for us to transplant.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah, these will kind of just leave be. Once they do germinate, we'll wait until it is the middle of May when it is safe to transplant them out. But these jugs should keep them nice and warm until then.
Yeah. And this today is a 60-degree day, and it's cloudy and gray. I would never be outside, and I'm having such a good time with Brooke. We're out. I've got dirty hands. I love every bit of it. And
we have a lot of stuff growing and happening here. So.
Yeah. So I love the way the garden pulls me outside. I love that. That's so good.
All right, that works.
That works.
Put that in there. And put the straw back around it.
All right. Is there any reason to go back and water any of the others, or you think that it's okay? You decide.
It will create a lot of moisture. Are we supposed to get rain this week?
I don't know.
I can water through the tops of them.
Okay.
And you can always take a spray bottle and water through the tops. That's easy to do.
It's nice not to open them up.
Yeah, we don't really want to open them, but we can just spray through the top.
Okay, very good. Wow.
All right, that's good. And I will try to water them with this little guy, but like I said, if they do happen to dry out and you don't get any rain, you can always take a spray bottle. But for the most part, they should create their own moisture.
That's what we hope.
That's the idea. And they'll be out of these jugs much before the middle of summer. They'll be out when the middle of May happens. Okay. I already did those. I'll just give these two a little bit.
Oh yeah, what are you doing? Oh, hello. It's funny, sometimes it seems like we're running out of space, but we find a little more.
There's always more space.
Amazing.
All right, this is...
You think this is a rosemary? You think we're just gonna have to give up on it?
Probably. I didn't see any green on the bottom unless you see any today.
No, I don't see any.
I would probably just give up on it.
Ugh. I hate quitting on rosemary.
Rosemary's a tough one.
It is.
Some
years it succeeds, some years it doesn't.
Yep. There's a couple of different kinds, but I never know which kind is the hardiest kind. It's hard around here.
We got some good stuff planted in here, Brooke.
Yeah, we do.
This is pretty great.
We have a great head start.
Wow.
We're going to be ahead of the game.
Way ahead of the game.
And we'll see what does well and what doesn't do anything, but so far, so good.
Not bad. I'm going to water the piece just for the heck of it.
Go ahead. Might as well use the water.
Peas love water. Well, Brooke, we're back.
We're back. We did it again, Barbie.
We did. We got a lot done.
We did.
To recap, we tried to set up the water inside the greenhouse, and it was a big fail because the system leaks. We're going to try that again next week. That's okay.
Yeah, we'll try again. We'll fix that up and see if we can get some actual rainwater and the hose in there.
We planted a lot of new seeds. What do we got?
Today we planted some of our squash seeds really early in the paper pots with some greenhouse jugs over them, but they were seeds that we had left over from the previous seasons, so we're going to just give those a try and hope they do well.
Yeah, and when we looked around this allotment, this is a 10 by 12 area, we have already planted
about 30 different types of seeds.
Right. So we got a lot of variety. We're hoping in September it's going to be a jungle.
Yeah.
But it's coming along.
Oh yeah, no,
right?
A lot of things are happy. A lot of things are greening in and filling out. Might have to do some transplanting. We planted so much, but that's okay because we'll share with some of the people here and
we will.
Whatnot.
We will.
Yeah.
Well, thank you for tuning in.
Thanks for joining us, and we'll see you on the next episode.
All right.
We're hoping you'll tune in for the next 10 weeks with us to see what we have in store for you and all the fun planting projects we have.
Elizabeth Tabor Library is working with us to promote growing. They loan garden tools. They have a seed bank. We help them loan garden tools. And if you want to grow vegetables in Marion, go find out more at the Elizabeth Tabor Library or email us